Hello everyone, my name is Heather Autumn and welcome to my channel. Okay, so last weekend I took you guys to New Hampshire to see the ice castles, and that was so much fun and I loved doing that. But I want to bring it back home to my apartment, to my kitchen, to show you a recipe that I know you're gonna love for your Super Bowl Sunday party. So I'm gonna be honest, I admittedly don't watch that much football. I don't watch a lot of TV to begin with because I'm usually editing or doing something, but I did find out that the Philadelphia Eagles are playing. So growing up, I had family in Pennsylvania. My grandma used to live there, and I remember going to Hershey Park and just all the fun activities. And I was able to go to Philadelphia once with my siblings and my family, and it was a lot of fun. But one thing I just distinctly remember was the Philly cheesesteaks, because they were so good. And we used to get them like all the time for lunch because my family was just like, hey, kids like it, we're gonna go get that. And so I wanted to kind of bring those two things together, the idea of the Philadelphia Eagles playing and this great childhood memory. So I'm gonna show you how to make Philly cheesesteak sliders. They're not hard to put together. In fact, they come together really easy. And I know that if you're looking for that main game day protein, this is gonna be it. It's gonna be a lot of fun to make, it's easy to make, and you'll love it. The ingredients list is pretty small. So the first thing you're gonna want is the star of the show, which is the shaved beef. I got this one at Wegmans. If your grocery store doesn't have that, you can get a steak. Put it in the freezer for a few minutes till it's nice and firm, and then just cut it really thin with a nice good sharp knife, and that'll work just fine. Next up, you're gonna want little rolls. So they did have some Hawaiian rolls, and I just felt like the sweetness of the rolls, the savoriness of the filling would kind of compete in a not so great way. So I got these brioche slider rolls, also from Wegmans. You can see them there. And if you don't have brioche rolls, don't worry. You just want something that is a little bit more savory. I think Hawaiian King also makes a savory type of Hawaiian roll where it's not so sweet. So I would recommend getting those. Next, you're gonna want one green bell pepper. You don't need to have it chopped up into thin pieces. I personally like it. There's a restaurant place here called Charlie's, and they always make the best cheesesteaks, and I kind of like my onions and bell peppers cut the way they do. Speaking of onions, you're gonna want one entire onion. Next up, you're gonna want provolone. So this provolone cheese, again, from Wegmans, really good. And if you want the exact slices, you're gonna need 6 slices of it. All right, so I am currently in between kitchen islands. I just lost the wheel off of the one that I have. And I'm trying to figure out whether I wanna replace the whole thing or get a new wheel. So through the power of editing, I'm gonna turn this into that, and this into this. I love editing. I also took some of the onion and I diced it really thin separately here into these like little squares, and that's gonna go on top of our brioche in a kind of butter mixture. So for the onion, I definitely julienned it really thin. You can kind of see it here. It just breaks apart into these little thin pieces. I did the same thing with some of our green bell pepper here, just really thin kind of slices. Just like that. All right, so that's pretty much all the prep work you have to do. So what we're gonna do now is start cooking. Okay, the first thing you wanna do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So I wasn't sure if I had specified how much meat you need. So you're gonna need 1 pound of the thinly sliced beef. So you're gonna go cook that over medium heat. So I like to just take my tongs and kind of separate out all the slices. This might be hard to do because it is really thinly sliced, and it's kind of all stuck together. So you're gonna wanna cook your meat until it's completely cooked through. All right, so once your meat is done, you're gonna wanna remove it and put it somewhere separate like I have, and then you're gonna add your onions and your green bell peppers to the pan. So you're gonna wanna cook your green bell peppers and your onions until they're translucent and soft. So now that all of your cooking is done with your meat and your vegetables, what you're gonna do is take your rolls and you're going to separate them just like so from the top and the bottom. like that. You're going to line a baking dish like so with these. Now, while I do love my Japanese mayo and I put that on everything, I will say that for this, I actually use this Miracle Whip. Well, this seems to be a more traditional flavor. This is actually a little bit more tangy. I think it brings a lot more flavor to any sandwich, so I will be using Miracle Whip, but use your preference. If you like something more traditional or something more tangy, it's up to you. All right, so here is the mayonnaised bottoms. So now what I'm gonna do is layer these in a very particular order. I'm gonna put the meat on first, followed by my onions and my green bell peppers. And then lastly, I'm gonna put the provolone on top just to seal everything in. Then I'm gonna go and put mayonnaise on the tops and sandwich that all together and get this in the oven. All right, so once you have all of your sandwiches arranged, you're going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter and add a tablespoon of those very finely chopped onions that I showed you in the very beginning. They're different from the other onions that you cook. These are raw. Next, once you have them all brushed, you're going to put some nice aluminum foil on top and pop them in the oven for 10 minutes. All right, so once your cheesesteaks have been in the oven for 10 minutes, you're gonna take them out, you're gonna pull off the aluminum foil, and you're gonna put them back in the oven for another 10 minutes. All right, so I just pulled them out of the oven. Can you believe that cheese pool? That looks so good. So I have one here on my plate. It looks gooey, it's cheesy, it's oniony. I'm gonna try this. Oh man. I feel like this is one of those recipes that I shouldn't have known because it's so good and it's really easy to throw together. Oh, it tastes just like a Philly cheesesteak. Now don't be afraid to like alter this. Instead of the thinly sliced steak, you can use chicken, you can add in mushrooms, like make this your own, but man, oh, I love this so far. Oh. That is just a tops on my list. So if you are like me watching what you eat, these will run you for one slider. It's 277 calories. So please pace yourself. But of course I've heard that on game days and on holidays, calories don't count. So have fun. Now, regardless of who you're rooting for, I really hope that you enjoy these either way. So if you've tried this and you like it or otherwise, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps my channel by letting YouTube know that my videos are being watched and liked. So be sure to check back next week. I will be going off-site. I'm not gonna tell you where, but I promise that especially if you're single like I am for Valentine's, this might be something you wanna look into. So thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is fun for me and I hope it's fun for you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.